Hello, welcome to episode 7 of the series on Introduction to Programming. In this video, we are going to cover loops. Specifically, we're going to talk about a type of loop called a while loop. Previously, we looked at Booleans and branching. Loops are a specific type of branching where you repeat the action until the condition becomes false. This can be very helpful when you want to basically do something multiple times. And in doing so, that allows you to write less code and get more things done. So, for example, if I go here and have a number of users and I want to do, say, 3 specific things with it, I can say while users is greater than 0, I would like to do document.writeLine. Put an X here. And each time I will subtract 1 from the number of users. And of course, if I run this, we will see 3 X's are written out to our screen. So a couple things happening here. Obviously, we have this math that we're doing here where we basically take the number of users, subtract 1 from it, and assign it back to the user value. We also have a condition here where we basically say, while this condition is true, so while users are greater than 0, we are going to continue to do this. And so you'll see document will be written, and we'll basically write an X to the screen every single time we run this loop. And we'll subtract 1 from the number of users. And once it becomes 0, we will continue on and not do anything. I can make that even clearer by putting down a value here called done. And of course, we can run it, and you'll see that it does that. If I change this condition to be something, say, higher than that, for example, this condition is false, it'll basically skip the entire loop. So if I run it, all you're going to see is done. Again, if I pick a value kind of in between it, we'll run it. In this case, users is greater than 2, so it'll spit out the X, subtract 1. Now users is 2, so it is no longer true. And then it'll skip the remaining times we run this loop and just simply write done. So what this means is you basically will have the control on how many times this code is run. You could put something ridiculous, run it a whole bunch of times, and it'll spit out X a whole bunch of times. Right? So loops are a very powerful means of having multiple things happen. Like, for example, say you want for each user you have, you would like to do something in your system. You're most likely going to use some loop in order to do an action for each user. In this video, I'm just specifically talking about the while loop. There are other types of loops that we will get into later on, but for now, know that this is a very common operation we do when it comes to branching, where we don't want to just do something once based on a condition, but we want to do multiple things based on the same condition. So, on that note, have a good day.